Alright, I'm out here, back out in the garden, in the greenhouse. Been doing some planting. If you watched my last videos, things have been growing quite a lot, and it's going to continue growing now that spring's here. I've been doing a lot of planting, like I said. I planted all my tomatoes and a lot of my peppers. It was kind of up in there if I was going to do that or not, being that we're going to be moving. But I decided to plant my tomatoes here, peppers anyways, and I'm going to water them in between our move and all that. So, let's check it out. Alright, I'm going to start here. These giant sunflowers that I planted are doing really well. My vision is to have just this covered with giant sunflowers, and it's looking like it's going to work. If you're new to my videos, I grow a lot of sunflowers, so that'll be a majority of what's going on through here. And we've got a lot of wildflowers going on. I'm really happy with how the pathways have come out. This is the second year I did grass, or I have had grass in here, and I did some more grass seed through here. And it really filled in really nicely, and it keeps the weeds out of the pathway, and it just looks really good. A lot of flowers in bloom. I have tens of thousands of them, and I will show you those. But got some awesome vine flowers going on, and over here towards the fence on the road is just exploded with wildflowers. And I've been watering it hard, so I'm going to go over there first to show you this, because these wildflowers were here last year and the year before, and over the fall and winter the seeds just spread out perfectly along this fence, and it just grew a wall of these wildflowers. It's just beautiful. I've been walking through this multiple times a day to check it out. All different kinds of pinks and purples. Galaxy's out here enjoying it. We'll take a walk around. I've been mowing my pathway through here, keeping up on it. It just keeps going all the way to the corner. Boom. It's so cool. These are all of our raspberries. They're doing really well. I've been slowly digging up raspberries, small raspberry starts, as I'm going to be taking about 30 of them, 30 or 40 of them to the new house, and we're going to do a big wall fence of those. These flowers are new. This is a wildflower that just grew here. This is the only one like this in the garden that I've seen. And then over here, these wildflowers are really cool and unique. These have like a light purple and dark purple in some of the centers. It just came out so cool. All right, let's walk over to the tomatoes. So I ended up planting just over 40 tomato plants, all Roma and one cherry tomato, but they're little, so I ended up using this space. I have Rosa 10, and then over there more Roma, And they're little, but they're starting to grow pretty quick. And then over here, this is the tomatillos. I have a row of them, and I'm going to be doing another row. Tomatillos I did a lot of in the last few years we've had this garden. And when we do our little compost piles and little burn piles, we always have lots of little tomatillos sprout up everywhere. So I've really just gone along around the garden and I dug up a few and transplanted them over here. So I'm going to do the same and do another row of tomatillos. And then these are my little pepper plants. Still pretty small. I've got some big Thai, serrano, habaneros, cayenne, a few different kinds of habaneros actually. And that is these. Still really little. They've been hanging out in the greenhouse and they're little, but I'm planting them anyways. They'll grow. And so that's looking like a really good variety of tomatoes and then peppers and tomatillos. This was the spot that we used for tomatoes last year. I've decided I'm not going to do any gardening in here or in here. Not with the way things are going and with us moving. So I'm kind of just letting this go. So that being said, I'm probably going to take my beets and Brussels sprouts that I have, and I'm going to do a couple rows of those here, and then possibly fill them in here to use those up. And then just kind of use this little section of the garden. It's easy to water while we're moving. I can come out here and turn on a couple of the sprinklers and get this all watered up. Let's just kind of walk through. These are getting ready to bloom. I've got like thousands of these. These are wildflowers, pink wildflowers, all throughout here. And they're just starting to bloom. Some of them already have. But that's going to be all through here. And then you can see the sunflowers in between. So eventually I'm going to be going through, thinning this out a little bit. But right now it's just about to bloom all these cool pink flowers. Here's what they look like. And then my strawberry patch right here is doing good. I'm going to dig a lot of this up when we move and try to transplant as many of these as I can to my new strawberry patch. And then it's just wildflowers for days. It's just so cool how the wildflower seeds just randomly sprouted up all over. We've got white ones. Just awesome. And when I water out here, because it's so dry, I'll typically keep one or two of these sprinklers on, like these two, and I'll keep them on all night. And I'll just do like a 12-hour watering and just flood it, because it just gets so dry out here. You've got to do it or else it won't water enough. And then over here, these are all giant sunflowers through here. They're growing good. These things have the potential. I've gotten them to 13 feet tall. So these are going to be getting big. And then over here, more sunflowers. I was going to go do a lot more work back here. I've got giant sunflowers still growing all through here, but I'm not going to put a lot of effort into this area, being with everything that we're moving. So I'm kind of going to just water it and let it go. But I'm still going to water it so the giant sunflowers will grow. And then let's go take a look in the greenhouse. I've got some really big sunflowers in there that I've been growing for over a couple months. Some of them have hit the ceiling. But yeah, this is getting really green in here. My giant sunflowers are doing good. This one I messed with and kind of twisted it up a little bit so it would grow weird. And these giant sunflowers are ones that I just grew through the end of the winter. I grew these. And these ones are hitting the ceiling. So being that this canopy is kind of toasted anyways and it's starting to rip, I just cut 2 little holes in the top so that these giant sunflowers can grow out the top. And I've already got sunflowers blooming. They bloom early in here because it gets so warm. It throws them off with their timing, so they bloom earlier. And so what I'm going to do is, my Brussels sprouts are up here. I'm going to plant as many as I can in those areas. And then I've got some of my honeysuckle vines. I'm going to be transplanting these into bigger pots along with wisteria. And I'm going to be taking these to the new home. And these are just 2 of the raspberries I've gotten. I'm going to be doing much more, but this will be the size pot that I keep them in. Because it may be about a month or so, a few weeks till I can plant them. And then I've got my little blueberries going. So yeah, that's what's going on. And all the pumpkins that I've been growing, I'm deciding to plant them in their pumpkin patch and just let them go, kind of see what happens. But those will be planted over here. I actually grew a lot of pumpkins. This is all of them. And I'm going to just be planting them through here. And throwing a hose out here and just keeping it watered for them. So that's what's going on. Excited I got my tomatoes and peppers in the ground. And now right now I'm kind of going through weeding. I just also planted these flowers, and then I did a row of a type of daisy all through here. So that'll give some nice color. And when we move, we're going to try to move the greenhouse, see how that works, along with our sheds. So that's update. Thanks for watching. I'll be posting more videos soon.